Hello, this is a new movie which will be Goku betrayed at Christmas. Without more to say, let's start. This story would take place years after the events of Super. Peace reigned on Earth a long time ago. The Z Warriors would be more relaxed, precisely on this occasion where Christmas was celebrated. Goku and Vegeta were training together in the Temple of Dende. "I thought you would not fight seriously," Vegeta said, who had received a great blow from Goku. Vegeta would spit some blood for that blow. The prince would throw himself against Goku, giving him a hard blow to the stomach. Dende would ask for calm in training. He knew that if the Saiyan got angry, they could break the temple. "Careless," Vegeta said. "So you see, we are in our base state, so we measure our power." That's what Goku said, who was hurt by that blow from the prince. At that moment, Mr. Popo would arrive. "The food is ready. I'm sure you are hungry." Goku would celebrate. Both Saiyan would go to eat. Later, they would continue training hard. The Saiyan did not know yet that a great fight was approaching them. Vegeta would tell Goku that days before, he had dreamed of a powerful subject. Goku would feel, and both would have coincided in that apparent dream. For his part, we can see in the corporation capsule all gathered since they would be organizing the Christmas party that they would do that night. "Where are the lights?" screamed Enubelma, which could be noticed anxious. "Yesterday I had them kept here." "Do not worry. I said 1,000, and I brought lights from my house. You saved my life," I said Bulma. For his part, Yamcha, Krillin, Piccolo, Gohan, and Master Roshi would have brought to drink. "I love Christmas," I said Yamcha. "It is a good opportunity to thank you and drink a lot," I said Yamcha, who was already going for the second bottle. Master Roshi looked seriously at Yamcha, who seemed to be drinking too much. "Let's see if you leave something for others. The party did not start and you already drank 2 bottles. "Do not worry, Master," I said Gohan. "I brought 2 more boxes of drinks." Master Roshi would celebrate. Everyone would be drinking before the party started. For his part, the little Trunks and Goten would be anxious for the arrival of Santa Claus. Both would have asked for several gifts for this Christmas. "By the way, where are Goku and Vegeta?" I would ask Krillin. "The party has not started yet, but it is assumed that they should be here," I said Gohan. "Both Saiyan are training in the Temple of Dende," I said Piccolo. "How can it be possible?" I said Bulma. "We are on Christmas Eve, and those 2 cavemen fighting." Chichio would assent. "Call Goku immediately." "I will not go again. I just got there." "Gohan, you can go," I would ask Piccolo. Gohan would assent and would fly at great speed to warn Goku and Vegeta about the Christmas party. "By the way, do you know who will arrive today?" I would ask Krillin. "Do not invite unknown people who then steal things," I said Bulma. Krillin would deny. "Calm. He is Trunks of the future. I recently received a notice from him. He will be present for this Christmas." Everyone would be happy to know that the Saiyan of the future would come. For his part, Gohan would arrive at the Temple of Dende, where he would see Vegeta and Goku, who would continue to train. "What a surprise, Gohan," I said Dende. "How good that you also come to train." Goku would be surprised. "Mokoso, what are you doing here?" I would ask the prince. "I'm sorry to interrupt the training, but I don't know if they knew that today is Christmas Eve," Gohan would exclaim. Goku would be surprised. "I forgot it. Now I remember that Chichio was talking about the party these days." "Sorry, but what is that they call Christmas?" I would ask Dende. "It is a party that is organized every year. I do not see any kind of sense unless now that we are in the middle of a training." "It would be better to go," Gohan said, "especially because Bulma is somewhat angry with both of them." The Saiyan would have no choice but to attend to avoid confronting Bulma. It is as hours later, Goku, Vegeta, and Gohan would head towards the Capsule Corporation. For his part, in the Temple of Zeno, you could see the god very excited about Christmas. "Look, Grand Priest, the Christmas decoration I made around the temple." Grand Priest would accentuate, "It was amazing, Mr. Zeno. I did not expect less from you. A masterpiece, the effect of lights that can be appreciated." "This is going to be one of the best Christmas parties, Grand Priest. I have several plans in mind." "To be honest, sir, I hope it doesn't exceed. Previous years for Christmas, he organized tournaments to death. I remember that there were many seriously injured." "Not at all," I said Zeno. "This time I will do something that unites even more to all universes. Since, after all, we are a great family, right, Grand Priest?" "That is right, sir," exclaimed the Great Priest. It is as the Great Priest would be somewhat confused about what plan Zeno would have this year. Christmas seems to alter him a bit, Grand Priest thought. I hope he doesn't go crazy. Grand Priest, remember that I can read thoughts. True, I forgot. Sorry, sir. It is as the Great Priest would stay helping Zeno to put some lights and decorate the temple better. It is not to show off, sir, but I think I look more beautiful to my decoration, especially the lights of the garden. Zeno would emphasize, I admit that yes, the angels seem to be geniuses in decoration. Thank you, sir, the Great Priest said. Later, the guards would arrive with more Christmas decorative objects that they had bought in different worlds. Meanwhile, in the Temple of Beerus, you could see the destructive god and the angel eating. The angel would lack several foods from his plate. I told Mr. Beerus not to touch my food, except that I brought exclusively from the earth. That is forbidden to touch it, since it is my favorite. I'm sorry, it's just that, as you know, the food of the earth is irresistible, Whis. We should visit that place more often. Whis would sent. Then I have good news, Mr. Beerus. What do you mean? The destructive god would ask. I recently visited planet Earth, and Bulma gave me a card. Let me see, open it. I want to see what it says. Dear Beerus and Whis, I am pleased to inform you that you were invited to the Christmas party. There will be the best dishes. Greetings with love. Bulma. I did not know that on Earth it was also celebrated. By the way, we don't organize anything here. It is a day like any other. You never organize anything. It is very lazy, Whis said. In fact, Champa wanted to organize something and you refused. If I remember correctly, Beerus said, I was very sleepy. I did not hear what he was saying. That is right. A few days ago, Champa came with Vadas. They repeated 3 times that they wanted to organize something for this Christmas. I thought I dreamed it, Beerus said. Anyway, now if I'm with energy to do something, Beerus said. It's time to go to Earth. This is the best opportunity to taste the delicacies of that planet again. Whis would sent. Well thought out, Mr. Beerus. By the way, your favorite smoking will be put? Whis would ask. Do not say nonsense. I only used it once, and it was to ask the Asinka in the position as Destroyer God, something like a job interview. Well, enough talking. It's time to go, Beerus said. This is how the Destroyer God and the Angel would go to planet Earth. For its part, again in the Capsule Corporation, we can see that the party would have begun. It could be seen that Bulma was still upset because the Saiyan had not yet arrived. The party is about to begin. Because Goku and Vegeta have not appeared, it seems that they like that they are begging him to come to these Saiyan. Bulma would exclaim angry. Beware, Bulma, Krillin said. I can feel that the key of both are approaching. They come at full speed here. That's right. They have taken a long time. Maybe they will have taken a shower and they will come well dressed. Who knows? Piccolo said with laughter. Chi-Chi would be happy. If it is true, it would be incredible. I have not seen Goku with elegant clothes for a long time. This is how everyone would be waiting for the Saiyan. For its part, Yamcha would be surprised to see number 18. Wow, Krillin,
You are very lucky to have that woman. Krillin would appreciate, but I would tell him to stop looking at her. Yamcha said, "Hey, Goten, what did you ask Santa Claus this Christmas?" Little Trunks would ask, "Wasn't his name Santa Claus?" Goten would ask, "It's the same. He calls him in different ways. And that guy can fly like our parents?" "Well, I don't know him, but I guess so," Trunks said. "The important thing is that he will bring us gifts." At that moment, Vegeta, Gohan, and Goku would arrive. "What is that smell?" Bulma said. Piccolo would see it seriously. It seems that they are the Saiyan, and they did not even bother to change their training clothes. Bulma would reproach the Saiyan. "I'm sorry," Goku said. "I wanted to take a shower in the temple, but there was no water. We had to come fast since we arrived late to the party." "This woman is no longer necessary, so much drama," Vegeta said. "You don't save yourself," Bulma said, which would send Vegeta to take a bath. Vegeta would feel and go to bathe. For its part, Goku would start eating. On the other hand, in the future timeline, we can see that the future Trunks machine would be about to travel. The Saiyan would be accompanied by an attractive woman. No one would really know the identity of that mysterious woman. "Are you sure we will go to that timeline?" the girl would ask. "That's right. I have many friends there. In fact, I told them that I would return on these dates. I went several times, so I know them all," Trunks would exclaim, excited. "I still don't think we can travel in time," the woman said, disbelieving. This is how Trunks would turn on the ship and travel with that girl to the timeline of the Z Warriors. We can see that Vegeta would have finished bathing. "Well, so much scandal. What time will the main meal be served?" the prince would ask. "Here are some delicious snacks, Vegeta," Goku said. "I eat those snacks every day," Vegeta said. "I want the main dish. It comes out. Yamcha is in charge of the roast meat," Bulma said. "Fantastic," the prince would exclaim. "To be honest, I didn't think I would have liked the party," Piccolo said. "When they told me about Christmas, I imagined a strange ritual of the inhabitants here, but I was pleasantly surprised." Bulma would laugh. "I'm glad you like Piccolo. There is still time for the gifts to arrive for the children," Bulma said. "Christmas seems silly to me," Goku said. Everyone looked seriously at the Saiyan, except Vegeta. "This is how Kakarot speaks. Christmas seems like a stupid party to me." Everyone would get angry with the Saiyan's sayings. "What have they said?" Bulma said. "It's not for them to get like that," Goku said. "It's just a personal opinion. It is a moment that we take advantage of to be all together," Chi-Chi said. "That does not mean the tradition is not stupid and something unnecessary. You can organize parties any day of the year," Vegeta said. Piccolo would observe seriously. He would be surprised by the discussion. "I think something similar to what Vegeta says," Goku said. "In fact, I never celebrated Christmas." Everyone would agree to throw Goku and Vegeta out of the party for insulting Christmas. While the party continued, Goku and Vegeta would be in the courtyard of the Capsule Corporation without the possibility of eating the main course. "We should have stayed quiet," Vegeta said. "You're right. They must have gotten too angry. It is not for that, but we can't eat the main course, and we could only bring some sandwiches." It is as Goku and Vegeta would be sorry. Both would be talking and eating sandwiches outside the party. Meanwhile, in the middle of the commotion, it would be heard that someone knocks on the door. "Bulma, I think someone knocks on the door," Krillin said. "I think I recognize that kid," said Master Rossi. It was Trunks of the future, who came accompanied by that attractive woman. Everyone would greet the Saiyan of the future. "Wow, Trunks, I see you have a new girl," said Gohan. "It's a long story. Then I must talk to you personally," said Trunks. "Of course, while we have a few drinks," said Gohan. Master Rossi would observe and notice that Trunks and the strange girl were not treated as a normal couple. I don't know why, but I noticed them somewhat distant. They don't seem like a united couple. Gohan would be surprised. Do you think, Master? Anyway, he asked me to talk to you alone, so I will take the opportunity to ask you about that girl. Master Rossi would continue observing Trunks and the girl. At that moment, a strong light in the sky would illuminate everything. They would knock on the door again. How strange, Bulma said. I don't remember having invited anyone else. Krillin would open the door. They would be surprised to see that it was Beerus. True, I forgot. I had invited the god of destruction and his angel. What a thrill! I didn't think they would come. We had forgotten to bring something, so we passed by the nearest planet and bought a delicious Christmas bread, Beerus said. Everyone would celebrate. Arriving almost at 12, Whis would surprise everyone. As I know the tradition of Christmas is gifts, everyone will take gifts today. The angel, acting out of his powerful magic, would make gifts appear to everyone present. Everyone would celebrate. Bulma would receive an elegant dress. Trunks would receive a jacket and a new sword. Gohan would receive some restored books that would serve him for his studies and investigations. Beerus would receive a new ship of ultimate technology, which would allow him to travel at greater speed in the universe. For his part, Master Rossi and some magazines which were to his liking, among many other gifts. By the way, Beerus said, I do not see Goku and Vegeta. What happened with the Saiyan? The god of destruction would wonder. Everyone would get serious. Those two insulted Christmas. That's why they were thrown out of the party, Bulma said. Beerus would be surprised. Well, I understand that the Saiyan are somewhat annoying, but it is not the right day to be fighting, the god said. For his part, Goku and Vegeta would be surprised to see that the destructive god came out of the party to talk to them. Mr. Beerus, it's good that you remembered us. In there, they told me that you were thrown out. I think it's good, so they learned to shut up a little, Beerus said, scolding the Saiyan. What happens, Mr. Beerus, is that we were sincere in terms of our thoughts about the Christmas tradition, Goku said. You have to know how to shut up sometimes, and more when it is an opportunity to meet and share. What do you think, Vegeta? Goku said.
Maybe he's right, and we've gone too far. I know, Goku said, but it was my opinion about Christmas, and I support it. You who will know about Christmas, the destructive god said, observing seriously. What do you mean, Mr. Beerus? Goku said. Maybe you don't know, but the Christmas tradition is based on real events. Goku and Vegeta would seriously look at the destructive god. What do you mean by that it is based on real events? Vegeta said, looking at Beerus. That guy you call Santa Claus? Santa Claus is actually an ancient, powerful god. Goku and Vegeta could not believe what they were listening to. Both would laugh. They thought that the destructive god was making a joke. You laugh, but it's no joke. It goes without saying that that being is one of the most powerful in the universe. Vegeta and Goku would ask the destructive god to tell him more about that subject. Thousands of years ago, that being really distributed gifts to all the planets of the universe. It was a kind being and used his amazing magic to bring happiness to everyone. But for some strange reason, his soul was corrupted, and now he is a terrifying being. Goku and Vegeta would get serious when they heard the true story of Santa Claus. Although we have it located, we cannot intervene because it is not our business as destructive gods. Our job is not to be saving innocent lives, Beerus said while he returned to the party with the others. For his part, Goku and Vegeta would continue talking. Do not think to believe in those scams, Vegeta said. I don't know, Vegeta, Goku said. I think his words were very sincere and convincing.
Maybe if we ask him to go train in his temple for a few days, we can find out more about that subject, even if we are lucky enough to know his location, Goku would agree. For his part, in the Temple of Zeno, we can see the god who would have already decided what to do for the Christmas date. Grand Priest, I have decided, Zeno said. I will make a special dinner for the 12 destructive gods of each universe. Great idea, sir. It would be an ideal time to reinforce the ties between all the universes, since after the Power Tournament, it seems that everyone has distanced themselves. I will immediately communicate it to all the destructive gods. This is how Grand Priest would warn each angel to attend the great dinner of the god. I am sure they will be happy for this meeting, Grand Priest. They have not met here for a long time, Zeno would exclaim excited. For his part, in the Universe 4, what have you said? I said Quitella. As you have heard, Mr. Quitella, Zeno has planned to make a great dinner for this Christmas. So if you have a commitment now, it will be better to postpone them, since in a couple of hours the destructive gods of each universe in the Temple of Zeno will have to be present. Quitella would be a little nervous, since she would know that any false step in the Temple of Zeno could be a disaster. For his part, in the Universe 6, it is already warned, Mr. Champa, there is little left for the great meeting that Zeno ordered. I know, you don't have to repeat it to me again. All I hope is that Zeno's brother does not go crazy. Be careful, Mr. Champa. Remember that Zeno can read thoughts if he proposes. You are right, Vados. I had forgotten it. I will go to take a shower and we will leave there immediately. For his part, the Christmas meeting in the Capsule Corporation would be ending. Bulma would thank everyone for having attended. Trunks, before leaving, would ask Gohan to speak personally. Gohan would feel. Beerus and Whis would be about to leave the planet. The destructive god would be observing the ship that Whis would have given him. At that moment, Goku and Vegeta would appear, who would ask the destructive god to go train with him in his temple. Since when you give me orders, I would exclaim Beerus. Don't be like that, Beerus. After all, it's Christmas. You're right, Whis. Okay, Iran, but if you promise not to bother all the time and train as I order, Goku and Vegeta would feel the Saiyan would have planned to know more about that god for which Christmas had arisen thousands of years ago. For his part, Trunks would ask Gohan to accompany him to the timeline of the future. Gohan would be surprised. For his part, the attractive woman would smile. It's okay if it's just for a few hours. I think I won't have any problems, Gohan said. Fantastic, Trunks said. This is how Trunks would take Gohan towards the future timeline. For his part, Gohan and Vegeta would arrive at Beerus' temple. Fantastic. I'm going to rest a bit and then we'll train, the destructive god said. I must admit that the party was incredible. Vegeta would approach Beerus. We wanted to know more about that god called Santa Claus. Beerus would get angry that they came just to know about that guy. Here they just come to train. I'm not going to say more about that god. We were very curious, Beerus, Goku said. At least we want to know where he is. Although I have all the records of most of the gods that exist, I cannot be revealing that information to any subject, no matter how dangerous and ruthless they are. They are data that I cannot be divulging. Thank you for letting me tell you some details. So better go to sleep, that tomorrow we will train hard. Goku and Vegeta would sit down and would not talk about the destructive god anymore, since that same night, while Beerus was sleeping, the Saiyan would start investigating in Beerus' temple the records of the location of all the known gods. After several hours of searching in the files that the Saiyan had there, they would find the location of that god. It is ordered by alphabetical order, Vegeta said. It has been easier than I thought. I can't believe that we will meet the real Santa Claus, Goku said. This is how the Saiyan would take the location data and take Beerus' new ship. Goku would not know how to turn it on. We have to go soon before Beerus wakes up. Get out, Kakarot, you don't even know how to use the basic controls, the prince said, who would easily turn on the ship. Both would go quickly with the ship of the destructive god. I hope Beerus does not get angry with what we have done. It is necessary. We need to find out who that old god is. Goku would agree. Both would leave with the ship. Again on Earth, we can see Krillin and Piccolo talking after the Christmas party of Bulma. Have you started to think, Piccolo? Krillin said, that Goku and Vegeta are going to train with the gods? Gohan will go to the future with Trunks. Who knows what adventures they will have? Meanwhile, we are here wasting time. I don't think we waste time. We also go through many battles, Namekisan said. That's right, but I don't remember any battle that we have saved the world. It seems that you dream too much, Piccolo said. Where do you want to go? I don't know. I was thinking that in the time where the Saiyan are in other matters, we could train in the Room of Time. Remember that one day on Earth is a year in the Room of Time. We have plenty to train and surprise when the Saiyan return. Don't even think I'll be with you in there for a year, Krillin would insist, which he noticed very convinced. I also have a secret training plan, Piccolo would observe seriously. A training plan? Don't make me laugh, Worm. That's what Krillin said, but I will only show it to you in there.
Piccolo would be doubting. I cannot take seriously the things you say. But as these days I do not have much to do, I accept the proposal. I want to see that secret training plan you're talking about. Krillin would get excited. Both would go towards the Temple of Dende to enter the Room of Time. At that moment, Yamcha would appear. What are these two up to? Yamcha would wonder. The Warrior Z would secretly chase them both. It seems they are in a hurry, Yamcha said. They fly at great speed. Suddenly, Krillin and Piccolo would increase the speed even more, and they would disappear. Yamcha would have lost track of both. Demons, I lost sight of them. Although I can slightly feel the key of both, I think they are heading to the Temple of Dende, Yamcha thought astutely. The Warrior Z would go there at full speed. Meanwhile, we can see that the Destructor God would wake up after several hours. Whis, get ready to see a real training. This time the Saiyan will be defeated with my new training. The Destructor God would observe everywhere, and it would seem strange not to see the Saiyan. Beerus would call Whis. Something happened, Beerus? The angel would ask. I've been looking for the Saiyan for a while. Are they sleeping? Whis would be thinking, now that I think about it, I do not feel the presence of the Saiyan, sir. Beerus would be surprised. What the hell is going on here, Whis? Now I remember that at night I heard some noise in the temple. I had sent the Saiyan to sleep there. They have told me that they would sleep anywhere in the temple. Both would enter the temple to see if the Saiyan were found. Where the hell have they gone? The Destructor God would ask angry. Beerus would be surprised to see that the new ship that they gave him at Christmas was no longer there. The Destructor God would get furious. Damned Saiyan stole my ship. That was their plan to come here. I will destroy their insignificant planet right now. Whis would be thinking, wait, Beerus, I do not think they had bad intentions. The Saiyan are impulsive, but I do not think they came here just to steal the ship. What do you mean by that, Whis? The safest thing is that they would go somewhere else, but first they had to come here. This is how Beerus and Whis would be thinking where they would have gone. For its part in the future of Trunks, we can see that the Saiyan would arrive. I confess that this timeline scares me a little, Trunks, Gohan said. The girl would observe Gohan with a smile. Trunks would start laughing. Beware, Gohan, I brought you here because I wanted to organize an outing. The girl you see there was actually interested in you. I told her your life story and she wanted to meet you. Apparently, she likes you a lot. Gohan would be surprised. Wow, now I understand why he looked at me that way. By the way, then you are still in a relationship with Mai? That's right, I said, Trunks. We will make an outing between the four of us to have fun for a day. The girl would feel, hey, Trunks, I think you forgot that I'm married, Gohan said. Trunks would be surprised. He had forgotten. Demons, I already remembered that you are married to Videl. Gohan would laugh. Videl? The girl would ask. You have not told me that he had a girlfriend. That's right, I thought Gohan did not have a partner, but I completely forgot it, Trunks said, annoying. Gohan would approach Trunks. Be careful. Anyway, we will take advantage of the opportunity and the four of us will go out. If it is that it is a couple of hours so as not to exceed me. Fantastic, Trunks said. The girl would be happy since she would have a partner for the date. I will let Mai know right away to prepare for the outing between the four of us, Trunks said. Yes, remember not to tell your wife Videl that he introduced you to a girl, if she does get angry. Gohan said, well, what are we supposed to do? I see a very desolate landscape around here, Gohan said. That's right, but in recent years, the forests have grown a lot again, so we could turn on some bonfire or something like that, Trunks said. Or maybe we can meet at my house? Gohan would feel, what do you think if I'm going to look for some herbs for dinner? Great idea, Trunks said. That is how the girl would go to some trees that were near those forests. Trunks and Gohan still did not know that that mysterious girl was planning something. I must confess that she is a very attractive girl, Gohan said. If she were not with Beetle, it would be a great option. Trunks and Gohan would laugh as they went to look for Mai, who was in Trunks' home. Meanwhile, that girl who was walking slowly through the forest would begin to change her face. A macabre smile would form on her, and a voice would begin to hear. The Saiyan fell into the trap, that girl said. You have done a great job, an android being would exclaim, which would approach the girl. The eyes of the two would begin to move in a strange way. Both would be android beings. Meanwhile, Trunks and Gohan would arrive at the home where Mai would receive them. Meanwhile, on the North Pole planet, you could see Goku and Vegeta arriving. It seems that Kakarot is around here. Goku would feel, since he seemed to feel a powerful presence on that planet. For his part, Vegeta would not feel any powerful ki yet, but Goku saw it very sure that there was a powerful force there. Vegeta would start landing and the ship would begin to fail since Vegeta would not know the new models at all. The ship would land abruptly, destroying it completely, causing the Saiyan to fall abruptly. Demons, Goku said, we destroyed the new ship of Beerus. Vegeta would try to repair it, but it was very damaged. Only debris of that would remain. You said you knew how to manage it, Goku said. I see, the ship. Seems that they are new models. They come with some different configurations to the traditional ships. I didn't know that the latest ships came different. Goku with a power would destroy it completely and only dust would remain. Better than no traces, Goku would exclaim. How the hell will we go back now? Vegeta would ask. I don't know, but Beerus will get angry when he finds out that we destroyed his ship. We will find some way, or we will have to learn to live together here. Don't think that I will stay close to you for a long time, Vegeta said. At that moment, the Saiyan would hear a strong explosion. That giant energy ball cannot be created by any subject, Vegeta said, which would observe that great explosion in amazement. It is as Goku and Vegeta would fly at full speed there. For its part, we can see in the largest temple of that planet that a being seemed to be feeling the ki of the Saiyan. It was that ancient god. My Lord Santa Claus, some presences with considerable power seem to have reached the planet, I said one of the dwarf servants' elves. For a moment we thought we had them located, but they disappeared their ki completely. I do not know how they have done it, sir. Prepare my sled, I will go to visit the peoples, the god would exclaim with a macabre face. Again in the temple of Beerus. Beerus would be thinking what he would do as a consequence that the Saiyan stole his ship. At that moment, Whis would come, surprised. Sir, I got an important message. Beerus would not say anything. He would be very angry about the theft of his ship. Apparently, Mr. Zeno organized a banquet for each representative of each universe. It is important that Beerus go. Beerus would be surprised. Zeno had never invited the gods of each universe to a special dinner. Anyway, I will not go, said the destructive god. Whis would be surprised. As you can imagine, I am very angry with the Saiyan, especially because they took my ship without permission. In any case, the only thing I think right now is to destroy them both. But sir, the message says that a representative of each universe must go. Tell one of the Z warriors of the Earth to go in my place. I must go immediately to look for my ship. How do you know where the Saiyan are, Beerus? I was reviewing the files and I noticed that the location of that god called Santa Claus is missing. So, theoretically, it is your fault, Beerus. I would never have spoken to the Saiyan of that being. That's right, I said, Beerus, regretting. That's why I will not destroy the Earth, since this was originated by me. Exact, sir. I would not have opened my mouth. Anyway,
He does not give the right to the Saiyan to steal my precious ship. They will not be saved from the beating I will give them," I said Beerus while he was heading to his old ship to go look for the Saiyan. "But sir, that ship is somewhat obsolete. It will only reach you to get there." "That's right. I will use this old ship to get there, and I will come back with the new one. It's a matter of thinking, Whis." "Well fought out, Beerus. Anyway, be careful, sir. Remember that god is a ruthless being who controls that world. Many other gods who stepped on that world died to defy him. That is how the destructive god would go at full speed towards the North Pole planet. For his part, Whis would take the words of Beerus seriously and would go to look for one of the Z warriors to attend as a representative at the great banquet of Zeno. For its part on Earth, we can see that Krillin and Piccolo would arrive at the temple of Dende. Dende would be surprised to see both. "How are you guys?" Dende said. "What a surprise the visit," Namekusei said. "We are just about to eat." "We would love to stay for dinner," Krillin said, "but we have come for another matter." "What is the visit for then?" Dende would ask. "It's a long story, but we decided with Piccolo to train together in the Room of Time." "Fantastic," Dende said. "It won't be a problem, although it seems strange to me to see them both train together." "Krillin's bandage promised me a new training method which promises to exceed the limits of our strength." Dende would be surprised. Krillin would laugh. "That's right. Besides the Saiyan all left, we thought it was the right time to enter the Room of Time, and for when the Saiyan return, to surprise them with our powers." Dende would accentuate and open the door to both. This is how Krillin and Piccolo would enter the Room of Time to train. Upon entering, Krillin would feel the heavy body, would fall instantly by the pressure of being in that dimension. "Will you tell me that your body does not resist the pressure of being here?" Namekusei would ask. "Do not say nonsense, Piccolo. You know that when you enter here after a long time, you feel the heavy body. It happened to Goku at the time. Stop talking nonsense. It's time to start training. We have a year to take advantage." Krillin would accentuate. On the other hand, we can see that Yamcha would arrive at Dende's temple. "I see that they did not warn me," Yamcha said. "These two believe that they are above me in terms of powers. I think they trust each other too much," Yamcha thought. Dende would be surprised to see Yamcha. "Do you also come to train?" Dende would ask. "Train? So Piccolo and Krillin have gone to train in the Room of Time." That's what Dende said. "I have other more important things to do," Yamcha said. "I just stopped by to say hello." "Okay, see you," Dende said, greeting. This is how Yamcha would fly out of place. The Warrior Z, Yamcha, still did not know that a great adventure awaited him. For its part, on the planet North Pole, we see that Goku and Vegeta had decided to go walking through the long forests, since they completely decreased their ki. This would allow them to investigate calmly without raising suspicions. It is most likely that someone has discovered us. When we landed abruptly here, we released a lot of ki. I'm sure they have us watched. "Careless," Goku said. "I do not feel the presence of anyone near. In fact, we have already crossed many inhabitants and nobody says anything. Anyway, it seems strange to me. I feel very silent the environment despite the fact that there are several towns around here. It is supposed to be that explosion here, but I don't see anything but towns and houses. I would like to be able to see that god called Santa Claus," Goku said. "Be quiet," Vegeta said. "What happened, Vegeta?" Goku said. "I told you to be quiet, insect." The Saiyan would hear some screams from several people. When crossing some trees, Goku and Vegeta would be surprised to see that a large part of the people of that town were being subjugated by the dwarf servants of the god. Goku and Vegeta could not believe what they saw. "Another good night, another night of punishment," said one of the inhabitants of that planet, which would receive a whip from those elves that seemed to be enjoying the suffering of those people.
Goku looked up to better observe what was happening. "Hide yourself, insect," Vegeta said. "You cannot know that we are here. We have to see what is happening." One of the elves would feel the noises of the Saiyan in the bushes. "It is there," one of the elves said, which would go to look. Goku and Vegeta would go quickly. From there, they would disappear at great speed. "It must be some animal going around," one of the brothers said. The pain and suffering that those people immersed seemed to be absorbed by the god Santa Claus. Goku and Vegeta would begin to realize that the planet was being corrupted by these entities. Again, in the future of Trunks, we can see that those two androids were one of the many robots that Dr. Makidro still kept, which had awakened several years ago. These androids had the particularity of regenerating and perfecting. This allowed them to surpass their own forces over the years. By not being Goku in that timeline, the evil androids had set themselves the goal of annihilating any Saiyan that was left alive, including those from other timelines, but doing a smarter job to the point of starting an effective bond. That is why that android had faked friendship with Trunks to then easily persuade him to bring other Saiyan from other timelines. The smart android had taken 2 years to fake a friendship with Trunks to finally betray him. These years, I was able to detect the weakest point of the Saiyan. Right now, there are other Saiyan in this timeline. It is our opportunity to get rid of these two. The definitive extermination of the Saiyan is getting closer, exclaimed the most powerful android. The android would resume her friendly role and return to the home of the Saiyan, where Goku, Trunks, and Mai were waiting for her for the meeting. The android would arrive with the herbs that he had promised them. "At last you came," Mai said. "The food was running out. I needed those herbs urgently." "Do you want me to play music?" Trunks would ask. "That girl seems to know how to dance," Trunks would exclaim with laughter. Gohan would laugh. "I'm sorry to say that I don't know how to dance. I never did." The girl would approach and ask Gohan to dance. Trunks would play music. Gohan would feel discouraged to dance with the bedding girl. "Gohan, you don't move anything wrong," Trunks said. "Have you lied to me that you didn't know how to dance?" I do what I can," Gohan said, which continued dancing with the girl. Gohan at one point would notice something strange on the face of that girl. His gaze seemed somewhat hypnotizing. Gohan would stop dancing. He would be somewhat dizzy. "Are you okay, Gohan?" Trunks said as he cut the music. Gohan would accentuate. "Don't worry, it's just the dizziness." "It seems that someone drank too much," the girl said, laughing with Mai. Gohan would also laugh, but inside he would know that something was wrong with that girl. Again, on the planet Polo Norte, we see that Goku and Vegeta continued to investigate that place. The Saiyan would see a great light crossing the sky at full speed. Goku and Vegeta would be surprised. Goku looked better and would be shocked to see that it was the god Santa Claus in his suit, which seemed to be absorbing the energies of all the inhabitants. Both Saiyan would begin to feel exhausted. That being seemed to have devastating abilities. Even so, Santa Claus would not see them and would continue his journey in his sled, absorbing the energy of the towns that suffered from the attacks of the elves. That subject does not seem to have the Christmas spirit. I admit that I am somewhat disappointed. I thought he was a kind god, Goku would ask. I wonder why Christmas will be celebrated if he seems to be an evil being. Remember that village said that something happened to him, that his soul was corrupted? Thousands of years ago, he possessed a noble spirit. Now it is quite the opposite. He seems to be a ruthless being. True, Vegeta had forgotten it, Goku said. It's time to follow him and face him. So it is said, Vegeta Goku said. We must free all these people who are suffering. I do not care about people, the prince said. I just want to fight powerful subjects. Both would rise to take flight, but suddenly they would hear that someone was whistling behind them. It was one of the dwarf elves of the god. They would be surprised to see that they had discovered them. It seems that we have visitors, the elf would exclaim. Goku would ask them to immediately free all the people of the town that were being subdued. The elf would begin to laugh. "With their level so low, they will not be able to do much," he would exclaim. "I warn you that we have completely reduced our ki, so the level of power you are feeling is not all our strength." The elf would be surprised by the words of the prince, with which these subjects can reduce all their ki? Interesting, he thought. At that moment, 4 more elves would appear. The Saiyan would begin to feel a terrifying power in those little beings. For its part, we can see that Whis would come to Earth since he would be looking for a Z warrior to replace Abyss in the Great Banquet of Xeno. "The truth is, I am not very sure of this," Whis said. "The Z warriors usually cause problems wherever they go. Anyway, I have been watching them for a long time, so it wouldn't be a bad option after all. I wonder if Piccolo is around here. I think it would be the most appropriate indication to go to the Great Banquet of Xeno." Whis would be looking for Piccolo through his staff, but he would not find him. How strange. The Namekusei Piccolo does not appear in the staff. It seems that it is in another dimension, Whis said. The angel would not know that Piccolo was in the Room of Time. Whis would discard Piccolo and look for another Z warrior. I know. I'll go look for Son Goku's son, or maybe Trunks, could be good candidates to attend the Great Banquet of Xeno. This is how Whis would go to Chi-Chi's house. Chi-Chi would hear that someone was knocking on the door. When she opened, she would be surprised to see the angel. "Wow, you are that being who was at the Christmas party." "That's right," Whis said. "I know. I came because I forgot to thank you for those gifts," Chi-Chi said, "which I would thank the angel. Now Gohan has all the volumes of books he needed thanks to his magic," Chi-Chi would exclaim. "It's not for nothing," Whis said. "Anyway, I came because I need Gohan to attend an important event that will be held in the universes." "I wouldn't know how to tell you," Chi-Chi said. "The last thing I know about Gohan is that he went for a day with Trunks' ship to the future timeline. I reminded them on several occasions that traveling on other timelines is totally forbidden." "I don't know," Chi-Chi said. This is how Whis would thank Chi-Chi and leave there. "Now who will be able to attend?" the angel would ask. At that moment, he would observe in the distance that someone was flying at great speed. It was Yamcha, who had planned to train hard after Piccolo and Krillin did not warn him about training in the Room of Time. "You will see that I will get stronger than ever. When Piccolo and Krillin get out of there, you will see my true power," Yamcha said, which was still flying. Suddenly, the Warrior Z would be surprised to see that someone appeared in front of him, making him stop the flight abruptly. "Mr. Whis?" Yamcha said. Whis would observe the Warrior Z seriously. Yamcha would not understand. "Does he want to exterminate me?" he would ask. "I don't think so. That would be too much. There's no reason to do it. Or maybe he saw a great potential in me and wants to train me." This is how Whis would tell him everything and cordially ask him to attend the Great Banquet of Xeno, where he would replace the flaming god of destruction. Yamcha could not believe what he heard. It must be a dream, he thought. Why on earth would he choose me in something so important? "I know you're surprised, but I think the closest alternative is for you to attend, and it must be immediate since the dinner is about to start." Yamcha would not understand, but then he thought, how can I be so clumsy? I must show seriousness and commitment to these subjects. I cannot be like a weakling. "I will go, Mr. Whis. I will occupy the position of village in the Banquet of Xeno. Don't worry," Yamcha said seriously. "Wow, that answer pleased me more," Whis said. "We must go immediately. In a few hours it will begin." This is how Whis would take Yamcha towards the Temple of Xeno to attend the Great Banquet of the Gods. For his part, we can see that Vegeta and Goku continued to be surrounded by those goblins that seem to have intention to attack the Saiyan. "Come at once, I will cut them all together," Vegeta would exclaim, which would expel his ki. Goku would see Vegeta and do the same, so both Saiyan would prepare to fight. Even so, they would still maintain the base state. The goblins who saw Vegeta very arrogant would launch against the prince, and a great battle would begin between Vegeta and the 5 goblins.
Goku would not understand why they had not attacked him. "Hey, I also wanted to fight," Goku said, which he saw how those little goblins attacked the prince abruptly. Demons. These subjects are very fast, Vegeta thought, which he was trying to stop the attacks. A great blow would impact Vegeta, which would make him fall abruptly. "Damn dwarves," the prince said that he was getting up again. "Kakarot, do something. Don't stay there standing." "Useless," would scream Vegeta. "I can't, Vegeta. They didn't attack me," Goku said, which would suddenly receive a strong blow to the face, causing Goku to fall against a mountain. The elf would laugh at that blow. "Hey, I had the low guard," Goku said. "I thought they didn't want to fight me." This is how both Saiyan would transform into their blue god phase, leaving all the elves surprised. They only changed the color of their hair. You have to kill them at once. This is how the elves would divide and launch against both Saiyan, which now with the blue god phase seemed to be able to stop those blows. Anyway, they would not trust each other since the power of those little beings seemed to be at the level of the gods. Goku would throw a power to the elves which would make them fly to those who were attacking him. On the other hand, the other elves would continue attacking Vegeta. Two elves would boost one and would throw him a strong kick in the stomach, making the prince fly against some rocks, achieving in that way to disarm Vegeta in his blue god state. Vegeta would not understand why those elves had so much power. Again, on Earth, we see that Krillin and Piccolo continued training in the Room of Time. In that dimension, it would have been 4 months. Even Piccolo would be waiting for Krillin to tell him what the secret training method to become stronger. "We trained for many months here, and I don't see that you have demonstrated a special training as you had promised. Wait too long." "Today I promise to tell you," I said Krillin. "You better. In a few hours, you and I will fight, and I hope you tell me that secret method." Krillin would feel, "Demons. I have no choice but to fight with all my strength." After hours, Piccolo would be waiting for Krillin, who would be ready to fight. "Now if you tell me the new training method," Namekusein would ask. "I'm sorry, Piccolo. I said that to con you to come in here," Krillin said. "You used me?" Angry Piccolo said. Krillin would deny, but still you can notice that we are stronger than ever, and there are still a few months more in here. Angry Piccolo would launch against Krillin, and a great fight would break out. Krillin seemed to stop Piccolo's attacks, but Namekusein was too angry, so little by little he would hit Krillin with more force. This is how Piccolo would abruptly hit a vital point of Krillin, causing it to fall abruptly and become unconscious. Piccolo would be surprised. "It is not for so much," Namekusein said, while he touched Krillin's body with his foot. It was only an effective blow to the neck. Krillin could no longer get up. That blow would leave him unconscious for several hours. "For a moment I thought he was dead," Piccolo said, which would observe Krillin. "Anyway, he deserves it. He promised me a new training method and they were pure scams." For his part, in the future of Trunks, we can see that Mai would be serving the food. Gohan would approach Trunks. "I think that girl is very strange. Her gaze seems lost for moments." Trunks would be surprised by the sayings of Gohan. "Do you think?" Trunks would ask. "I heard you," the girl would say, who would approach the Saiyan. Trunks and Gohan would get scared. "I'm sorry. I didn't mean to say that, but I admit that you look like a strange person," Gohan said with laughter. "Maybe you've had a bad day. It happens to me too sometimes." The girl would observe the Saiyan seriously, and with a slight smile, she would begin to speak in a different language. Her voice would be heard more and more thick and robotic. The Saiyan would be surprised by what they saw. Mai would arrive with the dishes, but seeing the girl with completely black eyes, she would get scared and throw all the dishes to the ground. The android would throw a loud scream that would completely destroy the door and leave the house. Everyone would be surprised by what happened. "That woman is not human," Trunks said, who was astonished to see the girl. Everyone would go outside watching how that girl began to fly. At that moment, the strongest android would appear. "They are all yours, sir. We will finally fulfill the mission of Dr. Martigero to exterminate all the Saiyan races. According to my data, they are the children of the Saiyan. It is good news to have them both. You have done an incredible job, Android 71. Thank you, 72. After killing them, we will go for the others with the time machine." Milan dreams Trunks would scream that he would launch at high speed against the android, which would hit the Saiyan, causing it to fall abruptly. Graydon would large all his ki, which would leave both androids impressed. "It seems that the level of that subject increased enormously. I did not have in my data that they could do something like that," the android said. Both androids would not have the knowledge of the great advance of the Saiyan over those years. For its part on the planet North Pole, we can see that Beerus would be about to reach the planet where the Saiyan were. For its part, the god Santa Claus would immediately recognize the key of the gods approaching. "Wow, I see that these parties we have many whists. Many gods have already come, and I have killed them all," God thought while continued absorbing the energy of the entire population. "Demons, this obsolete ship practically has no battery. Damn junk," said the god, Beerus, who was about to arrive. Even with the low battery, the ship would finally arrive and would begin to land with all the circuits failing. Beerus would quickly get out of the ship before it crashed to the ground. "Damn old junk," Beerus said. "By the way, where will my new ship be?" the Destructor God thought. "That the Saiyan don't think that they will get away with stealing my new ship. I will destroy them with my own hands to those intruders." Suddenly, an expansive wave would travel the place. The Destructor God would begin to hear a fist bump in the distance. The Destructor God would fly quickly. He would be surprised to see Goku fighting with all the dwarf servants. For his part, Vegeta would be very hurt, which was watching Goku fight. "So much that you spoke, Kakarot, and you cannot defeat those damn dwarves either?" Vegeta would exclaim, laughing. Suddenly, the prince would be surprised to see the Destructor God, who seemed to be very angry. "What the hell is Beerus doing here?" the prince would wonder. If he finds out that his new ship was destroyed, he will get even more angry, the prince thought. Beerus would expel all his ki, leaving all the dwarves surprised who stopped the battle. Goku would be surprised to see Beerus. Beerus would cast a power to the dwarves, causing everyone to fall defeated instantly. Vegeta and Goku would be scared to see the furious Destructor God, who asked to return the new ship that had been stolen. "Say it, Kakarot," Vegeta said, lowering his glaze.
"I'm sorry, Beerus. Your ship was destroyed, but it's not my fault. Vegeta did not know how to handle it because the controls were new." Beerus would get furious and would have decided to annihilate the Saiyan at once. Suddenly, they would hear a loud noise approaching. It was the god Santa Claus. Beerus would laugh. Now they are in trouble. Goku and Vegeta would not understand. They also made that god angry. "If I do not kill them, I will kill them," Beerus said with a smile. Goku and Vegeta would be surprised. The ki of that god was terrifying. It is as if at that moment the god would appear who possessed a monstrous ki, leaving everyone surprised. Meanwhile, in the Temple of Zeno, we can see that Yamcha would arrive at the big banquet. "I'm sorry I took so long," I said, Whis. The gods would be watching Yamcha, who would greet everyone. "This guy is a god," all the deities that were there would ask. Yamcha would laugh. Zeno would approach. "I think we have new faces this year." "Is it the new destroyer god of Universe 7? I would ask Zeno to Whis. "It's a very long story, sir." Whis would be about to tell what happened to Zeno, but the god would interrupt him. "It does not matter. The dinner will be served soon," Zeno would exclaim. "You can go taking seats." Wow, they finally got rid of Beerus. It was time for that arrogant one to be removed from the position of destroyer god, Yamcha said while greeting Yamcha. "Enough talking, it's time to eat," Zeno said. Everyone present would take a seat. "I'm very hungry," Yamcha said, which would sit next to Yamcha. "This guy suits me very well," Yamcha said. This is how the hours would pass. The food would be going well, Zeno would start making jokes all day long, all the gods would have to laugh forcefully. "Mr. Zeno says he is very pleased with the laughs that have accompanied his stories," Grand Priest said. "I see very good rewards in the future for all of you," I said the Great Priest to all the gods present. For his part in the future of Trunks, we can see that Gohan and Trunks would join forces to fight against that powerful android. This is how the two Saiyan would launch with the android, unleashing a great battle. For his part, in the North Pole, we see that the god would be furious about the destruction of all his servant elves. "If you have to kill it, must be them too," I said, Beerus. "I just came here to recover my ship that they stole from me." The god would seriously observe the Saiyan, which would begin to emanate a surprising ki. "I see that his level increased remarkably," I thought, Beerus, watching the god. "It seems that we are alone in this, Vegeta," Goku said. "I cannot believe that we are about to fight with the subject who created Christmas, with the authentic Santa Claus." The god would continue to watch furiously the Saiyan. "It's supposed you are a being of kindness and you spread happiness to the world," Vegeta would exclaim, who was on the verge of crying. "Enough, Vegeta," Goku said. "His mind was corrupted, Vegeta. Now he is a completely different subject." "Give me back Christmas," Vegeta would scream, which would expel all his ki, leaving everyone surprised. The prince would launch against the god, unleashing a great battle, leaving Beerus and Goku surprised. For its part in the future timeline, we see that the battle between the android and the Saiyan continued. Both would be hit by that android and would fall abruptly. The android would be surprised to see that the Saiyan would rise again. Suddenly, Trunks would see that the android woman had a Mai on her back. "I never supported your girl," said the android, which seemed to have decided to execute a Mai. Trunks, seeing this, would get furious, transforming into Super Saiyan, leaving both androids surprised, which did not know that the Saiyan had the ability to transform. Trunks at great speed would appear behind the android and with a power would cross the body, cutting it in two parts. "I can't believe I knew her so long ago and it was a robot," Trunks said, lamenting everything in order to destroy the Saiyan. For its part, in the more powerful android would not understand how he had managed to increase his power that way. Gohan would laugh. It seems that they did not have the data of a Super Saiyan. Super Saiyan? Android would wonder. This is how Trunks, with his best attack, would throw it to the most powerful android, destroying it completely. Again, on the planet North Pole, we see that the battle between Vegeta and the god continued. Santa Claus seemed to stop all the attacks of the prince. The blows that Vegeta impacted did no harm to the god, which would throw him a strong kick, making Vegeta fall abruptly. His style is similar to Jiren. His speed and strength is amazing. Goku said, "Vegeta is fighting for pride. He will not be able to defeat him," Beerus would exclaim. "Wait, Vegeta," Goku said, which would load all his ki and would throw himself against the god. Goku's blows seemed to impact with more force. This would leave surprise to the god, which would cost him more to stop the blows. The god would try to kick Goku, but the Saiyan would dodge it. Goku would suddenly appear below, giving him a strong blow in the stomach, leaving the god without air for a few moments. The god would get furious by that blow and would return it by impacting one in the head to the Saiyan, which would fall abruptly. On the other hand, Vegeta would get up again. The prince would spit blood and would return to throw himself against the god. The attacks of the prince were getting weaker. The god would start to beat Vegeta. A rain of blows would impact the prince. "The Saiyan are quite predictable," Beerus would exclaim. Suddenly, the destructive god would be surprised to see a light coming out of Goku's body. It was Goku who would have transformed into his Ultra Instinct phase. Beerus would be wondering if the Ultra Instinct could stop the god. The god would throw Vegeta to the ground and would start to step on his head. The prince was agonizing.
Suddenly, a strong light would pass by, leaving him surprised. It was Goku who would take the god from behind. The god could not move. Goku was holding him with all his strength. The Saiyan would not have the certainty of being able to face the Ultra Instinct. Goku would scream, calling to Beerus, "You steal my ship and you think I'm going to help you, Saiyan? Forget it," I said to Beerus. Vegeta, for his part, could not move. The blows of the god had left him devastated and could barely breathe. For his part, Goku could not hold out for long. The god would continue without being able to move. Goku was spending all his energies to sustain the god. Beerus would approach. "Now way I have to intervene and give the final blow and help the Saiyan." "Or maybe I could kill them all now with a Hakai," I said to Beerus. "Launch it now, I cannot hold out any longer," Goku would scream. This is how Beerus would launch the attack to the god, generating a great explosion. Goku would escape the explosion with a teleportation, taking Vegeta. This is how Beerus would have given the final blow to the god, who would be defeated. "You are lucky, Saiyan, that you can teleport." The Saiyan would regret the execution to the Goodnight God. Change those faces. As you can see, that god is still alive. Goku and Vegeta would be surprised to see the god seem to rise again. Few beings in this universe can bear a Hakaya meter away. That subject is one of them.
"Why did not you kill him?" Vegeta said. "We have only seen a part of his power," Beerus said. "Goku and Vegeta would be surprised. With that attack, maybe I regained my memory, and now I am a noble being. Do you think I would kill the god who created Christmas? I am not so ruthless," Beerus said. "How do you intend that such an evil being can recover his memories? You're not kidding anymore," Vegeta said. At that moment, they would see that being approaching which seemed to have recovered the memory and get out of the evil state he was in. He would apologize to everyone. Goku and Vegeta would be surprised. "Merry Christmas, Kakarot," Vegeta said. "I know you do not have a ship to travel. I will give you one," said the god Santa Claus, who with his magic would restore the ship to Beerus. "From now on, I will resume my work of distributing gifts on each planet of this universe. It is as well as the Saiyan and Beerus would leave that planet satisfied to have recovered the authentic Christmas. Gohan, for his part, would return to the current timeline with the spirit of having been able to help Trunks to exterminate those androids. For his part, Zeno-sama would thank Yamcha, which they had become friends. Yamcha would have asked Whis to train for a day. The angel would have taught him new techniques. Piccolo and Krillin would leave the Room of Time with a surprising power, but both would not know yet that Yamcha had trained with Whis, so the power of Yamcha would surpass that of Piccolo and Krillin together. For his part, Goku and Vegeta would return. They would be surprised to see hundreds of gifts had appeared in their homes. Well, this has been the movie. If you liked it, subscribe and activate the bell to see the next movies of the channel. A greeting.